Hey guys, welcome back to the Plant Stock channel. This is Jesse, and today I thought we will just take a quick look at Beyond Meat and why it has risen since yesterday. But first of all, let's just take a brief look at the stock chart. Ticker symbol BYND, and on Friday it was around $133. And starting on Monday, it went up at one point to about 5%, and that was quite big in just one day. Later, it went down to around 3%, but as of yet, at the moment of the recording, it's around 142. And we'll also talk about the possibilities for Beyond Meat if they could actually be doubling their revenue in the year to come. Now, what are the reasons why the stock went up yesterday with about 5% at its maximum, and now is continuing to rise as we speak? Well, one of the catalysts could be that the Rona vaccines are on their way, and that the reports so far when they've been tested is that they're highly effective with few side effects, what we know so far. And this could lead to that people are preparing themselves to go out eating more. And people who buy this stock are well aware of this, and they dare to actually start buying more stocks. Now, obviously, that's a big deal. If people start taking these vaccines when they're ready, restaurants will probably open more and more. And even if they're open at the time, I'm guessing a lot of people internationally are still weary with visiting restaurants. But if there is a vaccine that works well, people will start going out eating more. And that obviously will benefit Beyond Meat like other companies. But like we talked about before, this is only speculation. We don't know at the point. It might be that people just want to buy more Beyond Meat. It's a great stock no matter what. But potentially, there could still be a deal with McDonald's, and that is something that could make people more interested in buying more and more of the stock. Now, recently, we know that Beyond Meat plummeted after their earnings call, but maybe even more because McDonald's CEO went out and said that they weren't ready to disclose who were their partners when it comes to their McPlant burger. And more than likely, that disappointed a lot of investors into Beyond Meat who probably chose to use their money elsewhere right now until they had more news. But like I talked about in a recent video, I do believe there's still a possibility that McDonald's is going to go with Beyond Meat since they've collaborated in the past. And one of the reasons why I still believe that Beyond Meat could be the partner that McDonald's is going to start working with is the very reason that Beyond Meat is by far the biggest plant-based company. Now, recently, an analyst speculated that if McDonald's and Beyond Meat collaborate on a deal, that could actually annually add another 300 million to Beyond Meat's top line. So if you get some perspective with that, they're making about 400 million in the last year, right? That would be nearly double Beyond Meat's revenue, which is a huge deal when you think about it. Now, a lot of you might know that there's been some confusion regarding McDonald's launch of the McPlant. And that's because their CEO, Ian Borden, in a recent interview stated that they're going to release a plant-based menu probably next year, and it's going to be launched globally. But he did not say who they're going to collaborate with. But as I have stated before, Beyond Meat CEO Ethan Brown has recently stated that the relationship with McDonald's is good. We heard that in a recent conference call. And that kind of gives us a hint that there might be some form of collaboration. Now, if that collaboration is still that it's going to be Beyond Meat that's going to partner up totally with McDonald's, we don't know as of yet. But without a doubt, if this deal would happen, if they would get the whole deal with McDonald's, that would, according to this analyst, Erica Jackson, be worth about another $300 million annually for Beyond Meat, which would be basically doubling their revenue per year as of yet. And obviously, this is only one menu. The possibilities might be endless, which would mean that there would be a lot more money than $300 million a year in the future. But again, guys, even if they don't get the whole deal, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have some form of deal. So maybe McDonald's don't want to co-brand with Beyond Meat at this moment, but that doesn't mean that Beyond Meat can't profit from it. Like stated here in this article, a possible outcome could be that, but maybe the company is agreeing to a consulting role in exchange for securing a different future menu item. Remember, Beyond Meat is already produced plant-based breakfast sausage in addition to burger patties. And I feel that this could be a likely scenario if they wouldn't get the whole deal. Because why wouldn't McDonald's want to consult with the biggest plant-based company on the planet right now, right? It would only make sense, especially considering all the R&D that's been put into Beyond's future here. There is no other company as of yet, what I know, that has the same vast experience, 10 years experience. They've been on this for a while. They're internationally renowned, as I stated before. It only makes sense that they would get some form of deal. And as I stated before, it could be simply the fact that McDonald's don't want to go into this with a co-branding with Beyond Meat. Personally, if that's the case, I don't understand it because I think that would be something that would be beneficial for the both of them. Now, for an example, we could take a look at Pizza Hut. Beyond Meat and Pizza Hut are at the moment in the US collaborating, as you see here. Now, this is obviously also something that will benefit Pizza Hut, that instead of just calling it a vegetarian pizza option, they have chosen to co-brand with Beyond Meat. This kind of sends a signal to the world, or at the very least in the US, that Pizza Hut, they care about the planet, they care about making changes, they want to be part of this environmental revolution, they care more about people's health. So in the end, I think they will profit from it as much as Beyond Meat. So in the end, yes, there might be a possibility that they won't co-brand with them. It might be that they're not going to use them a lot to begin with, but even if they just get a little deal, that can be a negative thing considering that this is one of the largest chains in the world, right? So Beyond Meat will profit on whatever level they get in this deal, right? But before we round this up, just getting back to the idea that if they actually get the whole deal, that would mean a 300 million revenue per year extra, almost doubling their ordinary revenue at the moment. That would obviously be a huge deal, but I just want to make this clear. Just because the revenue would almost double, that doesn't per se mean that the stock price would double. I mean, it could mean that, and a lot of people believe that usually, but it's important to know the difference. It doesn't have to happen, right? But no matter what, it would be likely that if they got the whole deal, it would lead to more forms of menus, more forms of revenues, and that could eventually make it double or even more. That's something we will have to wait and see. But again, to be clear, doesn't go hand in hand. No matter if they get the deal or not, people, I'm not worried about this because I do see them expanding into China now. They're expanding into Europe. They're building factories in China. They're building factories in Europe. So it's a golden age for Beyond Meat because it's a golden age for plant-based companies at the moment. No matter what, guys, I believe that if you're an investor in Beyond Meat and if you're a long-term investor, you have nothing to worry about. The future looks bright for Beyond Meat and most things plant-based. And since this is the company that is the biggest in this field at the moment, and I believe they probably will be for decades to come, again, you're golden. Now, I just want to remind everyone, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a historian and a teacher. These are just my views and opinions. Do with them as you wish. Now, if you found some value, which I hope you did, please hit that subscribe button and like the video. That means a lot to me. It helps the channel grow. Guys, thank you and peace out.